King is a moral perfectionist. He's always trying to force people to do a certain kind of self-inventory, critical self-interrogation about the well springs of their culture, about the order of their practices, right? So his challenge is not just to the society at large, it's to you personally. When he gets up, and this kind of stuff is things that again, this is a vocabulary we don't use anymore. Very problematic that we don't. But when he gives the speech in Montgomery to try to launch the bus boycott as part of the opening rally, he makes an argument that, people of Montgomery, your dignity and self-respect is at stake with how you respond to this moment, right? It's not just because you're oppressed doesn't mean that questions of ethics fly out of the window, that they're irrelevant, that the only thing to talk about is your oppression and what the oppressors are doing. Like, there's a question about what you're going to do, right? That's all going to be there. The question, what do you do in the face of that? Du Bois has a line, he's, how does integrity meet oppression, right? Those are questions that I think reach deep down into the kind of abyss of irony. And if anything starts to pull people back from it, it would be that. And that's not to say you totally lose the insights of irony. And so one of the things I'm really interested in is how do you pass through a phase of irony and retain some of the key insights, right? That things aren't as they seem. Right? Like that is a fundamental truth for criticism. Right? You have to be able to see beneath the appearances of things. But you can't, and the thing that I've sort of come to, that a lot of what motivates irony, I think, is actually a misguided and misplaced, almost metaphysical sense of purity is lurking always in the background, right? That there's this purity, the standard of purity that's being used to judge everything else. And that's kind of implicit in the criticisms that they make and the affective relation to the criticisms that they make. But once you hold that metaphysical concept out in the light and say, this isn't a thing that we have to judge everything by. Just because our practices aren't perfect, just because this movement didn't fix everything about the world, that doesn't mean we give up